Hey guys, just wanted to go ahead and record another lecture for Personal Finance Part 2. I've uploaded the PowerPoint on Canvas if you want to follow along. I apologize for not being at school today. My wife and I are still in the hospital. Our little boy was born March the 9th, which was on Friday at 3:34 p.m. Everything seems to be fine. He's actually in the NICU right now, so we're going to be here for a couple more days. So hopefully you're looking forward to me recording a little more lectures. If not, I'll upload the PowerPoints on Canvas so you can follow along. All right, so let's get started. So we're going to talk about monetary and fiscal policy. Our standard is over SSPF 3, which is also in personal finance. And our learning target, it would be written on the board, is essentially to figure out how monetary and fiscal policy affect us when we make decisions in regards to money. All right, let's go. All right, so we're going to talk about some quick points. All right, so we'll talk about this later when we go into macroeconomics. That's going to be the next unit, but I just wanted to introduce it. We'll talk about monetary and fiscal policy. Okay, if you ever looked at the top of your dollar, okay, you should see it on the top right about here. It says Federal Reserve System. Okay, that is your monetary policy. Like I told you before in the circular flow diagram, when we look at money, monetary, money, take tar out, literally take the tar out when we have money. Okay, this is how the Federal Reserve attempts to control the money supply. Now, when we go to fiscal policy, we're talking about how the federal government attempts to control the money supply, and essentially we'll talk about this later in macroeconomics, but I want you to know if we talk about monetary policy, we're talking about the Federal Reserve, okay? And we talk about fiscal policy, we're talking about the federal government. All right, so what does this have to do with personal finance? Well, I am glad you asked. All right, so there's a thing called inflation. All right, so the 3 points I'm going to touch on is what is inflation, what causes it, and what are the effects. Okay, as you see down here, it's the dollar sign literally be inflated. All right, so what is it? Okay, basically what it is, the price of the value of a dollar goes up over time. This is due to excess money when it enters the market. Thus, the value of money going down. So what I'm getting at is, we have the Federal Reserve can create money, okay, as it's deemed necessary. Once you realize that this dollar right here, if there's too much of this in the economy, we may think, wow, that's great. We can buy more things. However, essentially, the more money we have, the less of a value the dollar is going to be. Okay. What I mean by that, can we buy a lot with this dollar? Generally, yes. However, if everybody, if the Federal Reserve decided to make more money to put us in more debt, does the value of the dollar really stay up to par? Does it stay $1 or does it decrease? With inflation over time, the value of the dollar is going to go down. This is going to allow us to buy less things. This is called purchasing power. We'll talk about that in a second. All right, so what causes it? All right, so you have a shortage, okay? Like we said, what a shortage is. Basically, when we simply do not have enough of something, or we've ran out, or simply a producer may not just want to produce anymore. Okay, that's considered a shortage. All right, when we talk about when supply and demand meet, okay, we talked about when a shortage. When in a shortage, what are producers usually going to do? They're essentially going to raise the price, correct? All right, so a shortage caused by a rapid increase in demand for goods in the market. This is called a demand pull inflation. So look, rapid increase in demand, okay, demand pull, okay, we want more items in the market. That will essentially cause a shortage because essentially we're going to run out of things. Think of scarcity. Unlimited wants and resources, unlimited wants and desires, not enough resources. All right, now, if it's a rapid decrease in supply and goods in the market, that's called a cost push inflation. So if we go back, a rapid increase in demand is demand pull. A rapid decrease in supply is cost push inflation. All right, so how does that affect us? Okay, it affects us as a consumer to control the market. When the market declines as the value of the dollar goes up, our purchasing value is going to go down. So what that means, high inflation, all you think of inflate, think of it pumping literally a tire or like a ball, okay? At some point, you're going to realize, if we use the soccer ball example, if we're in soccer season, if we pump that ball up too much, at some point, is it going to be effective to us? Are we going to want to kick a ball that has 20 psi in it? Probably not, unless you want to break your foot. Think about it. If we have so much excess money in the market, the value of the dollar is going to go down. Too many people are going to buy, too many things. And essentially prices are going to go up. And if prices goes up, if let's say we use a drink, for example, if I were to say this sweet tea right here that I'm drinking, if it were to be $1, okay, and over time, we talk about demand, okay, if you think about it, and demand goes up for a product, producers are essentially going to want to produce more of a product, right? So what they're going to do, they're going to raise the price, okay? And when you realize that if this drink that I just showed you was $1, is it really going to be $1 later? Probably not. It's going to raise, okay? So the value of the dollar is not going to be worth it. Think about if you're at a vending machine, okay? You go to a vending machine, you spend $1, okay? You saw I've seen it myself. The drinks go up, the water bottles, flavor bottles, they are turned up to $1.25, okay? With that being said, are we really, going to buy it with that 25-cent decrease? Probably not, or increase. All right, and it affects your income. If your income remains the same, so like think of teachers, our salary stays the same. We get paid the same every month for a 12-month, 13-month cycle. If inflation goes up, we're not going to be able to buy more, okay? So we're going to have to find ways to save our money. Now, there's a thing called a COLA, like Coca-Cola, then COLA, cost of living adjustment. This is where, supplementary income, your Social Security or any supplement that you get, food stamps, whatever it is, this could prevent this because they will adjust whatever their supplement is to help you out, okay? Now in savings, if you want to spend more to get what you need, are you really going to save? Probably not, because you got to purchase what you need. The value of the dollar went down. All right, so let's look at a closer look. All right, so on your left, you have year one and year two. All right, so if you made $1,000 in year one, you could buy everything. But in year two, you could not, due to your real wages have fallen. Real wages is your price that essentially is, or the money you make that is not adjusted for inflation. And if that falls, that means you can't buy more. All right. So if there's inflation, it's going to show. So if you look here on the left, 300 gallons of milk, year one, $1.20. It cost about $3.60. Year two, the price went up 60 cents per gallon, meaning the cost of that's going to go up. The value of the dollar goes up. So although you see that there is more, the same supply is coming, are people going to want to buy more? Probably not. The purchasing power is going to go down. You're not going to be able to afford it. Now, somebody benefits from inflation. All right, so who do you think? I'll give you a sec. All right, that's correct. People in debt. Hopefully you got that. If not, then I just told you. So people in debt pretty much benefit from inflation. All right, so when you're in debt, you owe some type of money. You talk about loans. Loans is a big thing. For those you going to college, you probably will own student loans unless you get full scholarships and everything. Or even financial aid, you'll still have to pay that back too. All right, so if you're paying back the same amount of money. If inflation goes up, the loaner is losing money, okay? Because remember, the value of the dollar goes down, right? So if you see that, let's say we owe $10,000 in a student loan, that's amazing. If inflation is going up, the value of the dollar goes down. So although we are paying back that $10,000, the loaner is essentially losing money because that dollar is now worth less. And understand, any loan, any bank, whatever they take money out to you, you're paying back interest to make money. And now if interest may stay the same, but the value of the dollar goes up, the purchasing power in the dollar is going to go down. So essentially, you're paying less because inflation, the price of the dollar will go up. So you may pay $10,000. With inflation, that $10,000 loan may be $12,000, and you're paying only $10,000 because the dollar is less. So loaners lose money in that aspect. All right, so I'll wrap up there. We'll wrap up with taxes tomorrow. I apologize for being so late. Like I said, my son is in the NICU. Please keep him in your thoughts. However, I hope everything worked out. It's a very short video. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email or contact me. Do remind, everything is on Canvas. All right, y'all have a good day. Thanks, guys. See ya.